Good evening, friends. Welcome to this session. And yes, there's a lot to discuss because every day Bollywood script seems to change every minute as per what the family wants. Everybody has a different point of view. Now, if the Mumbai police would certainly not agree with the family, and the family would certainly not agree with the servants. And the servants would not agree with the neighbors. So that the tune is getting changed every minute. And first we look at what the main press is talking about, and then we would go on to our own dissection of it and what we think is happening, and these people are trying to put a cover on. So we'll start with the first piece of news. Welcome. I don't know how to pronounce your name, so Expladish, I don't know what it is, but welcome. Always nice to see you. So now, friends, apparently, these people, the Mumbai police arrested the accused, a 30-year-old man who apparently stabbed Saif Ali Khan. Now, this is the man, they say, and that the man had entered the actor's home with an intention of theft, and a senior police officer told this to the reporters. Now, his attacker, who was arrested from adjoining Thane, is a Bangladeshi who has changed his name to Mohammad Shariful Islam Shehzad to Vijay Das after entering India. They also confirmed that he previously worked at a pub. The only other details available about the accused come from the official statements of Karina and her maid, Eliama Phillips. The maid, who was the first one to spot the accused in the building, had described him as skinny, dark complexioned, in his late 30s and about 5 feet 5 inches tall. Karina just referred to him as very aggressive. CCTV footage from the building just shows the accused ascending the staircase with his face covered by a scarf. He's been exiting the building via the same route, this time with his face exposed. Now, so if you go on to that picture, now I don't understand. So we'll discuss that, of course, later. So this man seems different from this man, and this man seems different from this man. Now, the accused was later captured on CCTV boarding, and yes, boarding. And later he was also seen buying some earphones near Dadar station. The accused was to be presented to the court as well, is what the Mumbai police said. Now, Saif was repeatedly stabbed, according to the main press, with a knife, half of which went into his body and remained there till it was operated and taken out. And this happened in the 12th floor apartment in upscale Bandra in Maharashtra. And Saif Khan, who was 54 years old, underwent an emergency surgery at the Leelavati hospital, where he was rushed following the incident that took place around 2:30 at his apartment. And of course, the hospital also said that he reached there by 2:30. So I don't know. The attack perhaps happened at 2, and he was taken to the hospital. He reached the hospital by 2:30. Now he's recovering and may be discharged soon. Doctors said earlier on Saturday that Mumbai police had detained a 31-year-old suspect at the Durg railway station in Chhattisgarh. Now, Akash Kailash Kanojia, the detained man, was still a suspect, police said later in a statement, and that further action will be taken after due verification. Earlier on Friday, a carpenter had been held as he resembled the screen grab of the suspected assailant from the CCTV footage at the actor's building, but he was released later as he was found to have no link in the crime. On Friday, Mumbai police had collected CCTV footage from a mobile shop in Dadar visited by the alleged suspect following the incident. Now, actor Saif, who is undergoing treatment at Mumbai's Leelavati hospital, had filed a health insurance claim of rupees 35.95 lakhs, of which 25 lakhs has been approved. Confirming the development, Niva Bupa stated that the remaining amount will be settled once the final bills are submitted after completing the treatment. The purported document of Saif's health insurance claim surfaced on social media, revealing details of the treatment cost and his probable discharge date. The document mentioned that the actor was being treated in a suite at Leelavati Hospital and is expected to be discharged on January 21st, 2025. However, sources told the media that the actor might even be discharged on January 20 if all his vitals are normal. Meanwhile, his family has asked the medical team not to share any updates about the incident amid relentless scrutiny over the matter. In a statement, Niva Bupa said the recent unfortunate incident with actor Saif is deeply concerning. We wish him speedy recovery. A cashless pre-authorization request was sent to us upon his hospitalization, and we are given approval of an initial amount to start the treatment. Once we receive the final bills, both the complete treatment, post the complete treatment, it will be settled as per policy terms and conditions. The actor sustained, according to them, 6 stab injuries, including one to the spine while fighting off a burglar in his Bandra home on Thursday, and he was rushed to Leelavati by none other than his 7-year-old son, Taimur, and a domestic help. Now, surgery was performed to remove the knife and repair the leaking spinal fluid. The actor is presently out of danger, is what the doctor said. Now, Kareena recalled the attack on actor Saif and said that she saw the intruder stab him many times, and her statement has been recorded. And according to her, he was protecting his children, Taimur and Jahangir. When the attacker could not reach Jay, he attacked Khan multiple times, is what Madam Kareena is saying. Now, if you were to discuss, see, if you look at certain points that we'd like to discuss. Now, if you remember the name, see, when Kasab came into, Mohammed Kasab came to, attack, when he was in India, his name was, apparently, his name was Samir Chowdhury. He used a Hindu name. Now, this man, who they have caught and is known as Vijay Das or Vijay Das, is now a particular person called Muhammad Shariful Islam Shehzad. And look at the name itself, Sharif, meaning clean and honest person. So that's also rather amusing. So let me just take on a few comments by friends. Welcome and good evening. I think the so-called thief was hired by the family itself, says be kind. Welcome, Amita. And it does sound strange, as I heard they didn't drive Saif to the hospital. In the car, they flagged down a rickshawala. And XPR says he would have had a driver or someone who can drive there. And he also says that they have so many people around all the time. And the irony is no one saw him injured. Yes, exactly. Now let's get back to this point where these people, the terrorists, apparently they hate Hindus. But they use Hindu names, okay, and they open shops with the names of our gods and goddesses, okay. And if they prefer women, they prefer Hindu women. And then they convert them, of course, and perhaps also kill them later and put them in suitcases. So they have this obsession with Hindus. But now, let me tell you very conveniently, the police has decided to give, the family a reprieve and to give them some rest, because they've all been so tired telling you different versions of what is happening that now they need some rest. So for that, they have come with a completely diversional story, saying that this man is from Bangladesh. It could be true, perhaps, because he's there are about how many crores? I would say 1 crore Bangladeshis are there, in Maharashtra. And if you're looking at these people were all brought in as the vote bank. Now, if you see, this man, they say, he's an illegal Bangladeshi from Nadia district, and he has an Aadhaar card from Bengal, and he was living in India as Vijay Das, but later revealed his Muslim identity. The fact is that, friends, all around you, they are all living close to you, and they're all been given Aadhaar cards by the opposition, which is mainly Congress and the other parties, for getting votes. Now they happen to be your plumber, they happen to be people who are working menial jobs, and they're all given Aadhaar cards. Okay, so now if they have found out that this man belongs to the housekeeping agency, and it clearly means that these housekeeping agencies are hiring illegal Bangladeshis right under the nose of the government. Now, what is stopping the police from naming the housing agency and its owners? Why not name and shame these people? Isn't it? But why can't they be exposed, and why can't they all be sent back to Bangladesh? That even the Indians who are hiring them. Because see, even our Indians are also doing it. They're hiring these servants because they are cheap, and they do your jobs for much less. So now, if you go on this tangent, then I'll go on to the next tangent. Find the political leaders, the cops, the lawyers who are facilitating this man's stay, and he procured his fake identity documents like Aadhaar, passport, voter ID, facilitated him with cash, handouts, and food stamps. He comes from Bengal. Deport these politicians, cops, and lawyers with him back to Bangladesh. Now you have to find these people. Who are these people who are giving them all the facilities to come and to hurt, a person like Saif Khan. Now, if you remember, let me also jog your memory and say that, there was a time, when Saif Khan said that, it's, people, Muslims are not getting housing in Bombay, and it's a terrible situation. My dear Saif, if your story is true, then it is the same person who has attacked you. So, telling us that they are peaceful is also now wrong. And also, when you vote for them, you should also vote thinking that, are these people safe, in your country? For others, I'm not talking for themselves. Of course, they are safe for themselves and for their party. But are they safe for us? Is the question. Now, apparently, you're not safe. You got 6 stab wounds and you were in ICU. Now, the funny thing is, friends, that the facial structure of the guy on the CCTV matches, that of every common person you find around that area. So now look at this man, and they say that this man is not this man. He looks the same. Okay, and so far they have released pictures of 3 suspects, out of which 2 look like the same man, and they all have a resemblance. Now the guy, this man who they have got now does have a little bit of, he looks a little different. But now many people are saying that, the family is also pleading with everybody to keep quiet. But now many people on social media are saying this man has come in so coolly inside the house. So could he be a drug peddler? Okay. Now, because there was a party going on, and perhaps, payment was not given as per, the terms that man asked for. So perhaps the drug deal had gone wrong, and the attacker was known to the family, and that is why the servants did not, raise a hue and cry. So this is something I feel that the person who was, shunted and sent out, people like Samir Wankade, should investigate. Perhaps he's also seen him, during his tenure as the, chief head of NCB when he was in Mumbai. Because the very fact that this guy seems so confident, he's walking around as though it is his grandfather's house. So I'm sure that this man obviously is very familiar with the surroundings. Now the CCTV footage, is, also doesn't show anywhere that anybody has entered. Okay. Now also the fact that Kareena Kapoor apparently appeared at the hospital only at 4 o'clock. Event happened at 2. He reached the hospital at 2:30, and then when Madam Kareena came there after the party, it was only 4. So what was the reason why this lady appeared at the hospital only at 4 o'clock? I mean, were they having some sort of alcohol, or what was it that they were having that she was perhaps scared that people would make her? We really don't know, because from what when Samir Wankade was doing his investigation, it was very clear that many people in Bollywood are taking drugs according to their WhatsApp chats. Okay, now, so Now it's social media is now, teeming with, points saying that, see, it would most probably be a drug peddler who came in, had an argument, and perhaps there was a tussle between the son and the father, because the son is also into if the son is also into this, then there would have been some sort of a fight for more drugs or whatever. We do not know. Okay, so this is something that is moving around in social media, and unless, of course, Mumbai police is not going to tell you anything about this. They will only say that somebody has come from Timbuktu and attacked Saif Khan. Now, this is the story. Now, they have picked up on some guy from Bangladesh. I don't think he even knows what is happening. And then Mumbai police may have to brief him and say, this is the incident. अगर कोई प्रश्न पूछेगा तो सच में बताना क्या हुआ. Maybe training is also going on, because see, what is the experience of the police? We have a very legacy of people like Paramveer Singh, Waze. So he would have been trained also. We do not know. So he would have been very well trained. So now, because if you look at his picture, he looks bewildered. If you look at the car doctor incident which happened in Bengal, this is the same thing which happened with the person who has now been put in jail, Sanjay. Okay. Now he also looked as bewildered as this man who has now been caught and who has been called, who was known as Vijay Das, and who is now his name is actually Sharif, which means as an honest man. Now this man has been picked up from I don't know which slum or which gully, and he has been brought here. Now he has to be, I'm sure, trained to understand what was the the procedure and what happened, and who he has to speak about. So here, friends, let me just take a few comments from you as well as we speak. Yes, exactly. It seems like that. Many people talking about that. Welcome, Amita. And it does sound staged. Now, here is the question, which is very well spoken by XVM. Now, if they had around 7 cars, why would this person take a rickshaw? And now this auto rickshaw driver is even bigger, actor than, you see Ram Gopal Verma's movies. So he's more melodramatic than the actors in Ram Gopal Verma's movies. Because first he said, this man came with a small bacha. Now the reporter said, is this the bacha? He said yes, meaning Taimur. They showed the photo. Then they said, is it Ibrahim? The man who went with him. So he said, no, it's not Ibrahim. So it would have been. Now they are saying it was a house help. Now the rickshaw man very clearly said that he did not have any very slight blood, and that too a small stain on the rickshaw which he wiped off with a cloth, and he was relaxed, safe, and he just leaned against the seat. And then after that, when they reached the hospital, he just waved at him, and they took him in a stretcher and went inside. Now, a man who has been stabbed 6 times with half the blade inside his system. Now, can you imagine? You can't even move. The pain would be so intense. And they say it's very near the spine. How the hell did this man walk and go into the rickshaw? And that also with the presence of mind to take the elder son Taimur, I guess, along with him. Which means that he knew that Kareena Kapoor was nowhere around. But Kareena Kapoor is very dramatic, and she says, "Maine dekha." He is so brave, like a sher. He attacked to protect the family. But madam, you were not there. Otherwise, you should have been the first one to jump into the rickshaw and take him to the hospital. But you didn't take him. Right. And then the next question is that your house is like a fortress. Nobody can come in or go out. The only people you really entertain are the paparazzi. And that also when you want to go to the gym, or Kareena Kapoor wants to go to the gym, or these children want to go for entertainment outside. So these paparazzi come and they are told to come that you're going to the airport, or you're going to gym, or you're going to entertain the children. And the paparazzi take so many images of you, and both you and your wife, smile and are very polite. And then of course your half a dozen retinue of all these nurses, catching each child's hand. And you can also see the kind of irritation Kareena has when she is with Saif. You can also see that there's not much camaraderie between the husband and the wife. So now so the lady says that he was a sher. Okay, now leave alone Kareena Kapoor. Now he went to the hospital. Now the doctor over there, and Leelavati is a bigger actor. I mean, I think even Shah Rukh Khan will have failed before him, because he says he came drenched in blood, like a lion, and that too with a child in his hand. I have seen him as a hero in movies, but a hero in real life, my God. So, there's a lot of disparity between what the doctor said and what the rickshaw driver said. Now, see, apparently these people are listening very closely to us YouTubers and other people on social media, because the next day immediately the tone changed, and the rickshawala said suddenly he was drenched in blood. Okay, so why then did you say yesterday that there was no blood, there was only little blood, you wiped it off with your cloth? So who made you change your tune? Right. So the question is again I don't blame the rickshaw wala. See, these people are, if you give them money, they will do it. If you are, you don't have any other needs, you might do it. But within a day, he has changed his tune, And then he says that suddenly one lady came and waved and took, but otherwise he said no, casually they came in and sat down. That was the first account where he said that nobody came. But in the second one, he's saying that the servant lady came and said, told him to stop and all that. Okay. Now, why would, exactly as Expla or, XPA says, where were all the drivers? 7 cars at every party, whether it's Ambani's party or whether it is any other Bollywood party or any other big occasion when you go to Modi ji's house and all that. What happens is you come in Rolls Royce or Audi, or the other fancy luxuries SUVs. What happened? You're going in a small rickshaw to the hospital. So was it to cover up what happened within the house at 2 o'clock? Okay. Was it so that nobody would notice that you went quietly to the hospital just to get your small wound, bandaged? Which perhaps even I could have done for you. Just put a bandage there, small. But no, moment, the news became wildfire. Then you had to build a story and say that you were in ICU and just, it was the knife had gone right up to the spine, and almost, all the spinal fluid and all had almost burst out and all that. And then you were in ICU, and then this doctor is so great, he says that, he started walking also. Now, this is really a miracle. How can a man who's had such a, serious operation suddenly start walking? So that is that's another question. So there are so many things. It's like, you have one day you say it is an ant. The next day you say it is a tortoise. The next day you say it is a deer. The next day you say it has become a hippo. And finally it has become a lion. This is the kind of story that Javed Akhtar writes. Now even Javed Akhtar will say, now I'm getting ideas. After seeing Saif Khan's story, I'm also getting ideas, right? So let me just take a few comments coming fast and furiously. Absolutely, she was intoxicated, thus getting to the hospital. Perhaps also, Janita, see, if they had checked, we do not know what would have been in the system, because when you party, of course, they would have taken some mood alternatives. We don't know what it was, but they would have found out that it is in the blood. I think she was under influence of alcohol, so she would have appeared late. So these are all doubts that we, the viewers have. Now, Meena Nandra says, irresponsible parenting to have made a child a part of a nightmare, accompanying a profusely bleeding dad after being stabbed at 2:30 a.m. in an auto, and the mother taking shelter of her family. Very well said, Nina, and this is exactly the thoughts that are in our mind, because she is a most irresponsible mother, and the father is even more irresponsible because they wanted to cover up for an incident that was internal, right? And this man who walked up and down the stairs like he was dancing was a familiar figure. Now, we do not know. So, let us also tell you that, see, to the government as well, that the Bangladeshis you are giving, these Aadhaar cards and all are, could be dangerous if he's a Bangladeshi, because the face keeps changing according to the police's mood. Now, if he's a Bangladeshi, then you only brought him in like a Frankenstein to get you votes. I'm not only talking to the opposition, but also to the everybody. But now it's never bothered to check out who are these people who are getting Aadhaar cards. Right? Election is not the only issue. It is the safety of the common man. That's also an issue, right? So that's also a question. So let me just take a few more points. Ned says auto driver is an RSS man. Because of that he took him to the hospital. Otherwise nobody would agree. Here also I have doubts, Ned, because this man changed his tune the next day. Just like he was acting in a big movie, multi-starrer. And Karan Johar would have told him, "Kal tumne hasa, aaj ro." Kyunki he was full of blood when he sat in the rickshaw. So he was changing the tune. So Ned, I wouldn't think that he would be an RSS man. But anyway, he did a good thing by taking him to the hospital. Now, Karina said she was so frightened that Karishma took her away. Why was Saif not dropped at the hospital? This is exactly what I also feel, my foot. So that's a very good point that you put across here, saying that why was Saif not dropped at the hospital? Now, even if Karina and these people are so pampered, they don't lift a finger, to do anybody a service, not even their husband. So, okay, but where did the drivers disappear? Were they all on holiday, going to this place and going to that place? Suddenly, they felt like being in a holiday mood and they all went to rest. And this man who calls himself, the Chota Nawab, had no one except this poor rickshaw man to take him there, this millionaire. This man who said that, see, Muslims don't get houses in Bombay because people do not allow them to take houses. This man who always made fun of Hindus and named his children after the Muslim invaders who tortured people in India, okay, needed the help of a Hindu rickshaw driver. Okay, now let's go to the next point. Now, as Ree says very rightly, we need to totally boycott Bollywood. These people, real life movie, to flop. Real life over drama continues. Now, my foot says boycott Leelavati. They covered obvious would say plastic surgery, do soon and fast. He also says that rickshaw wala is being chased. Paid media to change statement by paying him. Believe his movie Thief has come. Yes, it's very, very, very amusing. Now, another thing in the midst of all this, friends, is the fact that Sonam Kapoor did not get any other chance to make a goal, score a goal, because she said we were at a party. Now, who was at the party? It was Karishma, it was Kareena, it was Sonam, and her sister Ria. So they were having a gala time. Now, and they were in the 12th floor. Now, this man who went into the house also was found on the 12th floor. Now, what was he giving these people? Because he had a bag. What was inside the bag? Not the goodies for Jay and Timur, right? Couldn't have been chocolates or biscuits. Must be some other goodies, right? Why would a man come with goodies and then only come out with a small puny knife and, strike Saif? What were the other things in his bag? Okay. So, Gunail says, ma'am, with a 2-inch knife in your lower back, you can climb a Mumbai auto. Nothing. Yes, absolutely. That's what we're asking, Gunsai. And it's all so hilarious that these people, want us to believe it. And of course, Anil Kapoor's daughter felt that this was the right time for her to get attention. So she said they were all at a party. This is all, very, very amusing. And then what happens? The man goes to the son's room. And Kareena says that, he could have harmed my son. And there was so much jewelry all around, but he didn't take any jewelry. But madam, Kareena, who told you that he was after your jewelry? If you suspected him to be a robber and he didn't take your jewelry, then what was the intention? Was it for that 1 crore If you're asking about that 1 crore, every house in Bandra will have 10 to 20 crores in your locality. Why did he go only after Saif? He could have gone after anybody, right? So there's something wrong, and somebody is trying to hide something. My foot says also 7 people against 1 man could not stop this man. And Ree says flood of over drama to totally flop to entertain the public. Absolutely. And my foot says no intercom to security to call him. And in between all this, friends, this drama never ends. Suddenly the neighbor comes and he does a strike over. We do not know for what. He is also very annoyed about something or the other, and the media is cooking up some story about him also getting angry and police wanting to arrest him. Now, not only is the Kapoor Khandan pagal, according to all these reports, because they are not, nothing is agreeing with nobody is agreeing with the other, or no point is also gelling with the other. So even the neighbors are crazy. That means, why would this man go and strike? According to the media, this man is also very upset. Not only is the Kapoor Khandan and this Khan Khandan also upset, but now neighbor is also upset. So this is making for a very curious mix of people. We will think at least the neighbors will be scared of such a incident, but this guy also wants some drama. He also came in. Now my foot says today Bandra police station is controlled by Gutterwood, and you look at the way what you said is absolutely correct, my foot, because I was looking at the body language of the policeman who was speaking. Now, this man doesn't know or doesn't seem to believe in what he's doing. Now, if you speak to someone like Samir Wankade, you will see the kind of passion that man has, and he's so strong about his views. Now, this policeman who was speaking about the incident seemed to be reading something, out of a script like Manmohan Singh does usually when Sonia Gandhi gives him something to read. This is how it happens, And we don't know whether to believe this policeman. Now, is he just a person who is who's a follower of Paramveer Singh or Waze? We don't know, because see, they would have trained them so well that for generations, you will have this kind of investigation. They will say that Bollywood has to be taken care of. So, bache log, even if I'm not there, you continue to protect their interests. This could also be something, right? So, this policeman struck me as someone who's not at all interested in what he's doing. Now, how did he get a stab in the back, and how one puny guy was not overpowered? Now, this is a very good point put by AR. Now, this is something I really want to discuss. Now, everybody in Bollywood, right from Shah Rukh Khan to even this midget Amir Khan and, all the other Khans, Saif Khan and all of them, they're always at the gym. It could be their own gym or it could be outside gym. And they're having these protein shakes and going for all these advertisements where they flex their muscles. Unfortunately, in one of those movies, Jawan, it was that Shah Rukh Khan wore some sort of plastic thing, which everybody knew it was not a 6-pack or a 7-pack or whatever, 8-pack or whatever, So, because he was getting old, so he could not show that anymore. But again, just see the audacity of the mainstream media. After showing this incident, now they are showing Saif Khan flexing his muscles in some scene. I don't know, must be the movie that's coming, in the future. And they see that this man, he's so strong and he was protecting his family. In which case, why? Let us go back to the image of the so-called Bangladeshi. Let us look at that man. Yes, he seems like a very puny guy. Now, he could have easily been overpowered by Saifullah or even Kareena Kapoor, in whatever state she was. She could have easily given him one with the stiletto shoe of hers, and he would have fallen over. The couple could have done it, And yes, Taimur and Jay are also learning karate, because every time we see them, they are in the karate dress. So the family could have given them a kick and whatever, and made him disappear. But they did nothing. And then you see scenes of Kareena Kapoor outside, and there again a rickshaw is waiting for her. It seems like they have sold their 7 luxury vehicles, and they have decided to use only rickshaws. Now she stands in front of a rickshaw and starts, arguing with the maids. And the maids are also getting agitated because they don't know how to remember dialogues. They are not actors. Now Karina will tell me to behave like this. Karishma will tell me to, say only this when the media comes. Police will tell you only to say this. How many dialogues they will remember? Huh? So the servants also don't know how to remember the dialogues. So they are also rather flustered. All this alien and all, they are absolutely flustered. So you wonder what is happening in the Kapoor Khan Khandan. They made a story of a small wound in his stabbing. VFX applied, Rajamouli effect, yes. And he emerged, yes, as Ganesh, and he emerged as a Bahubali. Now, Saif was bleeding profusely, but the thief probably used a washing machine and no blood on his clothes. Now, I wonder what sort of knife would have broken within his body. Huh? It could have been Taimur's knife or Jay's knife, paper plastic knife, which the doctor would have then replaced with a real knife, and they would have had a massive job to break the tip of it, to show that half of it was still inside Saif Khan's body. So these are all the, other sides of the story. Now, this family is fooling the whole world. Absolutely. Yes, absolutely, Manjit. So it's becoming more of a comedy. Now, drugs overload or good Lord, as police gets, yeah, we really don't know because everybody seems to be pointing towards that tree. Welcome, Janet. And Josephine said, publicity stunt, of course. Maybe some new movie is due for release. And she also says that celebrities do keep gun for sale. Yes, and he had a gun, which he did not use. Maybe he felt that his muscles are stronger than the gun. So that's a very good question that you've asked, Josephine. And yes, definitely a publicity stunt is what XPR says. And Josephine says only the accused can speak who is real perpetrator. Now everybody is saying that. See, in what SSR has sort of exposed, which is drugs in Bollywood, and what Samir has exposed time and again, and even caught those people on the cruise, and then how politicians came in and saved everybody, and Bacha was saved, and every Kacha and Bacha was saved. Now here we do not know whether, this guy, this Bangladeshi, this Vijay Das, who is now a Sharif, has been, a familiar face in the house. And even the maids are, familiar, and they would say, oh, he has come, send him to 12th floor. So this seems like, they are all used to it. And nobody was really prepared for making a, what you call a foolproof script. So it is like Javed Akhtar and, Salman's father, Salim Durrani, Salim, when they, both of them sat and made scripts, they did not know. Sometimes Javed will say something, sometimes Salim will say something. So they used to put whatever suits them. So now but still, at the end when the movie was made, at least they made it foolproof. But here, where was the time to make a foolproof script? Father is in, busy in hospital. Mother is in 12th floor, and it will take her, at least another few hours to, become normal and to go to the hospital. All these things were happening, and plus, now we have all the mothers and fathers coming to the house. So we just wonder what is happening now. Who is the victim? Is it Karina or is it, Saif? We really do not know. And also the fact that, see, as we go back to what Nina said, Nina says Kapoor family applying a policy. You can't convince them, confuse them. And XPS says, yes. And XPS says, I love you. Thank you so much. And as Nina said very correctly, it is they have actually tortured the son by taking him to the hospital. The little kid doesn't know. He's only 12 years old. He doesn't know what's happening, and he doesn't know what games his parents are playing. So it's a sad situation to put your child under. And Ganesh says, Bollywood people are renting properties. Are there luxuries, cars on rent? It could be, most probably. And in between all this, it is like a total, what you call a Shakespearean, parody. In between all this, Urvashi Rautela is busy apologizing to Saif. Now, you want to know why? Because she thought it was a burglary that went wrong, and she got so scared that her Rolex watch, and some ring that her father had given her after some movie of hers, where she acted, became a success. She was so scared that after Saif was robbed and Karina was robbed, she is also going to get robbed. Okay, so she gave a bite on that. not knowing, because you don't know which world she's living in, because half the time she is being questioned by people for the very vulgar dance in the Telugu movie, which is being shown constantly on YouTube. So now she, in between all this, like a joker, she goes and, apologizes to Saif. Now, if Saif is out of ICU only, she can approach. No? He is supposed to be in a very grave state. But then the doctor said, no, he can walk, he can talk, he can do everything, and within a few days he will be discharged. Now, these people may be all laughing at us, saying that the public are so stupid. They are lapping everything that we tell them. Now, if we tell the police, okay, tell this story, police will go somewhere and all, they will go to even, Manipur and bring a Bangladeshi and say, isi ne kiya hai. Yeah. So we do not know who to believe, because nobody is believable. Because why I'm saying this, friends, is that in the Calcutta car case, that small puny man who is supposed to be a drug addict, okay. As you know, the young doctor was ripped apart. Even the specs were put into her eyes, and she was ripped apart. Her legs were torn apart. And to say that this puny Sanjay was, responsible for that, when there were reports from interns, doctors saying that some very powerful people had done it and they had escaped from the country, right? And they were dealing with, they were selling medicines illegally at the hospital. They were also dealing with body parts. And this woman knew it, the doctor knew it, and she was threatened. And finally, when she did not listen, and when she was going to go to the media, she was finished. So now, if the courts can say that this small drug addict was responsible for that gruesome gang rape of that woman, what do you expect in this Saif Khan's case? Who is going to come out and tell you the truth? Is the question. Desi says, dots of their story all over. Yes. Why he is not seen in other floors, camera while entering and going out? Absolutely. And Janitha says, so confused. The thief went in with an axe. Saif had a piece of the knife lodged in his spine. Really confused. Yes, we do not know even what is the, whether it's a knife or an axe. That also is also a big doubt in everybody's mind. Saif will say now his attacker was masked, did not see his face, and the PR stunt will end with some movie announcement. And in between all this, friends, all these left-wingers and these peaceful lovers were saying that he is a Hindu. Why? Because he wore a orange, scarf in his pocket. What is happening to India? I mean, you get only Hindus to attack in every situation, whether it's in a movie or whether it's in a drama or whatever it is. Hindus are your bashing board. Then they found out that this man is a Sharif. That is his name, and he is not a Vijay Das. Every person. Kasab is also not a Chaudhary. He is Ajmal Kasab. Nina says, his stabs appear to be of a man who was possibly asleep on his front, and only back seems to have been attacked. Yes, I think he is a drug supplier to Saif family, is what everybody, almost 80% of the social media are saying, making these kind of statements. Now, I thought it was a very convenient for Kareena to be out at the time of the attack. Maybe she organized it, wanted to get rid of Saif and gain his money, just a thought. Now here, friends, I don't blame you, XP, for saying that, because see, we know in the cases of Divya Bharti, in the case of Parveen Babi, in the case of Sridevi, what happened, right? In one case it was the insurance, in one case it was something else. So yes, people can be greedy, but we do not know in this case whether these people had the same ambitions. Man, how come the Mumbai police tracked the accused? From where did they get the accused phone number or IME to trace the location? I think very probably Mamta, who was the most worried about Saif, would have said, एक बंदा इधर है, उसको पकड़ के ले जाओ, उसको बोलो, वो उनको बना दो, perpetrator. So she would have said, Mamta has a lot of soft feelings for Saif. She said a lot of things for him. So maybe Mamta said that, see, there is a very, puny man here. Anyway, he's useless. He's not doing anything for West Bengal. Pick him up and, make him the culprit. So this could also be the one of the reasons. His bag was empty while coming down. Exactly. What were the goodies that he gave at the 12th floor where the party was happening, according to them? So was it perhaps chocolates, or Macintosh for, Jay and for Diamond? We do not know. So it could be. But then the children were not there. So did, Karina and Sonam and her sister and Karishma want chocolates? So what was it that he had in his bag? It's a question. And why was his bag empty when he went down? Now, Sarah and Ibrahim's expression were downcast. Now, what is Ibrahim's role in it? Because Ibrahim being the son, that would have been his first job, to take his father to the hospital. Now, these two also come in a rickshaw. It seems like the whole Kapoor Khandan clan are totally dependent on Mumbai rickshaws. Okay. Now, everybody has seen an inebriated Ibrahim come out of nightclubs, totally, in another state, and with men helping him get into the car. Now, was there a tussle between the son and the father with regards to some payment or some impending, you don't know whether it is, he wanted some more money, or was it the wife who was very angry? Because, many people describe Karina as a very, very, high-strung woman who can get angry very fast. In fact, she also got angry with us during the Boycott Bollywood show, and she said that you people stop watching my movie. I don't care. Even if my movie doesn't run, I don't care. You stop seeing it. The same way that Alia Bhatt also said that. So was it a very angry wife who was in another state also, in this perhaps involved? We do not know. They have to come out. But who will come out? Who will bell the cat? So that is the question. Now, XPS says, thank you, Praveen Reddy, for becoming a new member. Really appreciate it. And XPS says, Saif will get many movies now. Directors feeling sorry for him, but also the directors will get huge publicity now. Now, your sentence has taken me to another point, XPS. If you watch NTR's movie in which Saif was a sidekick, in that, NTR, Junior NTR is very good at dancing. And in that, he dances very well. Because most Telugu actors are very good at dancing. In that, even Saif had to dance. And Saif looked like some ragged beggar, from Mumbai streets, because he just could not dance. So it was so strange. Even in that role, he didn't fit in. So what does this man want now? With life is what we are all asking. Priya says, was he planted by family itself for any insurance amount? But if you look at it, Priya, the insurance rate is not like something that Sridevi had. If she, if she died in a Gulf country, the insurance would be so much. It's not that amount. It's a very small amount. I think that is enough for to feed Karina and her friends. All these Malaik and all for a party. When they go for these Bollywood parties, that is enough for just to feed them and take them in the cars and all that. So I don't think that amount would have made much difference. Why would Karina plan this attack is Ganesh's question. So now I don't know. I don't know whether you're asking me. We are just putting all these options at what really happened within the household. Now here the auto driver is the alibi and the drivers are safeguarded is a point being put across by Dinesh. Priya, XPS says anything is possible with these Bollywood people. Now, Kaushik says in some YouTube channels, some Supreme Court lawyer saying that the stabber is a Hindu and instigated by Kumar Vishwas. Now, where did this Kumar Vishwas come into the scene is my question. So please do not, please ignore such, statements by stupid lawyers. Now, Dinesh says drivers are safe because if it's a powder D, then usually for big shots, drivers do the pickup of guys. Okay, now this is a very important point that Dinesh has made, and this is something that strikes a bell. So it's a very valid point made by Dinesh. Now, welcome, Leena. We missed you, and we're glad that you joined us. Now, who is Mamta? Mamta Banerjee. You know that she sent a condolence. This is not a condolence, a very sad message to Saif saying that you better get up and get well. Now, there are no drivers available at midnight. Precisely, Leena. So the point by Dinesh makes sense here. Now, lol, I don't like Karina's movies. Anyway, says XPM. Now, Dinesh says a thief will not stab 6 times. He might stab once and run away in that confusion. Sixth time means it's an argument or reason attack. The guy might have entered through their gate. Now here, Dinesh, who is telling you that there were 6 stab wounds? Because according to the rickshaw man, there was only a small blood stain coming from his body, and it did not even stain his very slight stain on the rickshaw. So this is all made up by Khan and Kapoor. So this is not something that that has happened. Of course, the doctor said that he came bleeding. He was profusely bleeding. Now this doctor should be put on this thing lie detector test, because I strongly believe the senior doctor is lying through his teeth. Okay. Now let's take other points as well. Boycott Saif and Bollywood. They all had boycotted SSR. Yes, Leena. A handsome donation to the hospital would get you any statement. Absolutely, Nina. This is exactly what I said. This man should undergo a lie detection. The second doctor seemed a little bit more, sober. But the first one, he should get the Oscar, is what I would say, because he was in the midst of these actors. Now, yes, most likely drugs, cocaine lines can be sniffed on knives. Okay, so that's another point. The doctors sound like a PR for Saif. I'm just wondering who all are the PR. Is it the rickshawala? Is it the servants? Is it Karina? Is it, I don't know whether they had dogs. They would have even made the dogs mouth some lines if they could. So that's the state happening there. Now, why hasn't the Bachchan family been targeted? Only the Khans. Now, I really don't know that that's going too far. Anyway, now Nina says, if Saif is fit to walk, where is his statement? Absolutely. Now, Nina, your questions are very, very precise, and they should be answering these points. And Divya says, welcome, Divya. We did miss you. And she says, she agrees with us. And XP says, they need to get rid of Grumpy Jaya. You're going on another angle. Now, cameras are at all hospitals. It will show Saif's condition on entry. Now, do you think, Lena, that this man who acted like, he's going to get the Oscar would ever show you that CCTV camera? It is like the police who destroyed Disha Salian's, all the evidence and said that we don't have it. Under the political Mahavikas Agadi regime, everything was rubbed off. Now, you think this doctor who's acted so much and who's, going to be caught, put through the lie detector test, is going to show you the CCTV cameras at Leelavati when Saif arrived with his little son? Now, Saif has already claimed the private insurance 25 lakhs. Yes, and that also not cash. They want it digitally. They are so precise in what they want. Now, Ganesh says, is it that no hospital except Leelavati for these celebrities? Yes, because if it is people like SSR, they should be put in Cooper Hospital. That is the guidelines that are given. Priya says, if 6 wounds, then how easily walk and enter auto? Exactly. It's a small wound and we cannot walk. And this man, with 6 wounds, and this is all, again, Priya, very clearly I'm telling you, who told you there are 6 stab wounds? Except for the doctor and this Saif Khan. Nobody else is saying that. Then now, of course, the wife and all are overacting and telling you the same thing. Now, only God can punish these liars, is what Manjit says. If you're injured badly, you can't walk. Something isn't correct here. He walked and sat inside the rickshaw, says Leena. Absolutely. Well said. And Kushi says, now the auto rickshaw driver saying there was so much blood on Saif's clothes. He's also coach. Yes, exactly. See, money is exchanging hands at every stage, Kushi. So this is something, because every day, when we sleep and we get up, something more has come on Saif. It is like, every day, you get a candy bar. Every day the police are doing so much of hard work. They are giving us scoops every day, and they now should be known as the scoop masters. Mumbai police are the scoop masters of India. If it is a PR stunt, is this legal, involving the police force and the law just like that? Anita, if you ask me a question like that, why did you not ask the same question when it happened to SSR and Disha Salian? The Mahavikas Agadi had every proof wiped out. They had Paramveer Singh in their hand. They had Vaze in their hand. They had all the media and the PR in their hand. Is it legal to do all this? No. But our politicians are famous for this. They don't care to hoots what you think. What you and I think is the least important. They'll do what they like. That's how they rule. But unfortunately, the truth will never come out, is what Shilpa says. And this is something I agree with 100%. Now, Leela says he went to a Hindu hospital. Why? And he has named his son Taimur, who butchered Hindus. Absolutely. So now this is a very important point that Leela says. For a man who hates Hindus, who married a Hindu girl, okay, for a man whose mother is a Hindu married to a Muslim and who was forced to change her religion and become Aisha, a man who always made fun of Hindus in his movies, he now is saved by a Hindu auto rickshaw driver and some Hindu doctors in Leelavati Hospital. That is the irony of what is happening. Very well said, Leena, and a lot of you are giving such powerful comments, and these are the questions that we should be asking. Not only the police, but also the politicians who are, wagging their tails. It is not the job of Fadnavis, it is not the job of Eknath Shinde, or it is not the job of Ajit Pawar to protect mafia kings, gundas who have 60 bodyguards to look after them and bulletproof cars. It is not their job to look after a man who's having an internal problem in his house, in his mansion, which is 7 floors, and whatever they are consuming within the 7 floors and whatever they're doing, Fadnavis doesn't have to go and peep into their bedroom and see what they're doing. Their job is to give justice to the common man. I hope that message goes straight to Fadnavis and the other people who are ruling now. And it goes higher up. And they tell us that we get justice for Sushant Singh Rajput. So let me just take a few more comments. Very interesting comments coming from you all. Gunzai says, moose wounds on back, lower back, neck and hand. All struggle injuries, like someone trying to defend when attacked. Father and son or drug supplier fight. See, I'm not, I feel it is a family feud that has happened, and something has happened in between is my strong thing, but of course they have to tell us. Now, India's public is far too intelligent for these games, says Dina Nadra. Very well covered podcast, well done. You have made the public so aware and open-minded and not to be fooled by paid media. Thank you so much, Nina, for your words. It makes us all upset that they are making buffoons of the public and they expect us to believe any, sort of crap that they give us. Ganesh says Saif was trying to overdose Tiger Shroff because he gets recovered from some gunshot in just few minutes. Now, Ganesh, as you said, Saif would have had a gun in his hand because they all have guns. They have guns, they have bodyguards, they have dogs, they have bulletproof cars. Still, a puny man will come and, stab you 6 times and escape without any blood on his shirt. This is the beauty of the situation is the man who escapes goes, has a spotless shirt. Then they realize now social media is getting very smart. We cannot fool them all the time. So what did they do? Now they brought another man. Now his name is Vijay Das. And it's very easy to get Bangladeshis. You just pay their, families at home, and you give them some money and they will say that, acha, theek hai, I'll become the culprit, So then what happens is that his parents and his wife and children are all well looked after in Bangladesh or wherever Mamta has given them a home and Aadhaar card. So he is also very well looked after. So this is something that, they have done, thinking that public are fools. Now, friends, let me tell you something very clearly. Now, citizens have become the real journalists. And they're looking for alternative media that is unbiased. And many YouTubers are, without having any element of greed, without looking for editorial comments and polarization, giving you the truth. And because of these people cannot hide anymore. The mainstream media are doing all sorts of dances and everything to make you understand that Bollywood is heaven. And these people, these top stars are God's children. But the problem is, after social media came, there are a lot of journalists who are telling you the truth. And they're doing it without any vested interest. They're not being paid by any advertisers. They're not being sponsored by anybody. They're telling you the truth because you deserve to know the truth. And that's why things have changed. It's the same thing with what Elon Musk has done with X. America came to know the complete truth about what's happening and how the deep state is the one supporting Obama, Biden, and Hillary Clinton, and how they destroyed USA. So now what's happening? The whole world has become very, very alert. Okay, so it's very important to know that each time that you ask a question, you are a journalist on your own. You are asking very valid questions, and you're saying that I cannot be fooled by all this nonsense that's happening, and that's being given to us, that's being literally spoon-fed to us by mainstream media and by all these PR, and all these police and whoever are there in their bandwagon. Now, Lena says entire police is only running behind this case. Like there is no other work left for police. Thank God they're not running after other things, because with the state of their, what you call their efficiency, don't expect them to prove anything. Nothing. They are just being paid by certain people, is what I would say. Now, what is that knife picture which was removed from Saif's body? Is this also fake? Shilpa, if you, go to any of the channels and just see what the main doctor says, you will know that, even Kader Khan or Amitabh Bachchan and all cannot act as well as that doctor did. He said he came, just all blood all over, and he was like a lion, and this lion was roaring, and he came with this little kid. He was not even scared. And, we see heroes in movies, but we don't see in real life. The Saif is so, I don't think anybody can say that unless you are a very, very greedy man, is what I think. Okay. Now, if the doctor is sure that he's not lying, then show us the photo of Saif coming in with Taimur and the servant to the hospital. Do you have the guts to show that? This is what Nina Nandra has asked. Show us the pictures. Why aren't you showing us the pictures? Right. And you keep telling us that this could be the man, that could be the man. You're telling the police it could be a Bangladeshi. Tomorrow you will say he's a Mexican. Someone who's very upset with Trump, and he decided that India is a better option, and he got hold of Saif. You never know. They can do that as well, right? Can you imagine he could walk with that knife in his back? Absolutely. So it's all crap that they're giving us. SSR opened up our eyes at what cost. He lost his life and police did nothing for him. And Nina says, you have simulated the public spray matter. Well, thank you so much, Nina, and all of you for being with me. It is this program has gone on for 1 hour because there's so much to discuss and to enlighten each other and tell us that, let us not believe all this crap that they serve us every day. Now, Deshbhakt says the doctor has to be fired who said a lion was coming. Desh, I would say that a mouse came, and the mouse wanted to hide things, and that's why he brought his kid also there, with a small move. So this is how I would see it. And Desh says, what about the CCTV in the house? Yes. And Leena says, your programs are really good. Thank you so much, Leena, Neena, Shilpa, all of you, Deshbhakt, and all of you for coming and joining us in large numbers to know the truth. And please support our channels, because we do not get paid by anybody. And we just do it because of our conscience. And if you guys do not support us, we cannot survive, because we face a lot of these taunts from other people. And we do our research and we try to bring you the truth. Please support us in large numbers and make such channels work. Instead of running after people like India Today and all that, who don't want to give you anything other than so try to help truth survive. With this, we say good night, Jai Hind, and Jai Shri Ram.